thank you all for coming back and welcome back to the Louisiana Pilot Program of Felons of Nonviolent Crimes. If any of you would like to leave the program and go to jail, we'll take off your ankle bracelets and you'll be in jail, and your choice to accept punishment instead of rehabilitation will be accepted. I have good news. The judge has said that if all of you decide as a group to confess your crimes and to express remorse for them, you'll all be free right away. You won't even have to go through the program. How does that sound?
Sounds terrific, counselor. And where's the pretender churchgoer, the turd? Michael, what happened to him?
Michael was caught. He tried to get rid of his ankle bracelet, and this alarm went off, and they caught him. I don't know what they're going to do to him yet.
Good riddance. Go figure.
So what is
it? Wow, is he coming back?
I'm sorry.
I said, is he coming back?
We have no idea.
Do we need him in the class in order for all of us to, get set free at some point?
I don't think so. But as long as you're thinking that way, let's get into it. I would like to hear you express any resentments that you have about me or the program or the people you feel have screwed up your life enough to put you here. Just express yourselves. It's a counseling session.
Well, I feel that Penelope, she's going to hold us all up. And she won't ever fess up to her guilt.
How dare you? I'm not guilty. I cannot believe you just attacked me like that, Lillian.
Well, you just confirmed what she said. I'm not guilty. I'm just going to do that.
I'm not. I mean, what? They want innocent people to start confessing crimes now? Is that what it is?
See, I told you. She's going to be the reason that we all do not pass this counseling session. She goes out. She's a duchess of high-end thievery, which makes it hard for me because I pay my money. And then when I go in these high-end stores, who's the one looked at? Me. Why? I'm paying my money. And she's over in the corner, going through the store, taking clothes. And I have to pay for mine.
I respect what you're saying, Lillian, but I don't think Penelope's the problem. I mean, Michael here, I think he went off taking an ankle bracelet to go drinking, while the rest of us are doing our time and we taking our lick here.
Well, I don't recall Michael having any kind of drinking problem. You, pretty boy, what have you been doing? You've been taking money from ladies that get a fancy to you, and you just sit here and tell us how, it's all of the problem of your circumstances and stuff. Well,
yeah, I saw him.
Where do we get with that?
Penelope.
What? Come on.
He was trying to pull Penelope.
First of all, old man, are you jealous of me because I'm 29 years old? Like, what's the deal?
You calling me an old man? You don't know shit. You're 29. Well, good for you. You're 29. All you do is smooch off these ladies that give you money and stuff, and you talk about, it's all because of my circumstances and all that stuff. What a piece of bull!
I don't know yourself. Sounds to me like, from what I'm hearing, you are, part of this big old company, but you are stealing from your own company. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't sound like
Rob? What are you? You Cary Grant? It takes a thief. You telling me I'm stealing from our company when you steal from yours?
And I'm just telling you you should maybe mind your business and picking on John because you have problems. That's why you're here too.
Well, I don't guess. What are you here for? You just here for the cookies and cream that they serve?
I'm here for the entertainment. I'm very entertained right now.
Entertainment. Well, you're wasting our time if you're here for the entertainment. We don't need to be
mirror.
entertained. We need to either figure out what we're gonna do, or if we did something, admit whatever the heck it was. Otherwise, we're wasting each other's time.
Okay, so why don't you admit?
Well, you got Miss Boss Lady here telling me, oh, we got things saying that you stole this and stole that. How do you steal from people who are stealing themselves? I didn't steal from anybody. So I'm not giving you some circumstances that told me, that allow me to say, oh, I'm not really bad because my bad circumstances, or I'm selling equipment that's being otherwise misused, that nobody's paying attention to.
That's the truth. Okay.
Circumstances, Mr. Sal.
What's that?
Circumstances are circumstances.
Circumstances are circumstances. Well, yeah, we're all here victims of circumstances, I guess. But if we don't figure out, well, if you people don't figure out what you're gonna say about how to, realize what you did, we're all gonna be here until God knows when.
Maybe you should spend some time figuring out what you want to say, what you want to admit to.
Any more time than I have to being in this class.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys are expressing yourselves. Will one of you be willing to be the first to express their culpability so we can begin to move towards the conclusion of this group?
I'll go, counselor.
Oh, great. Thank you, John.
Okay. So first of all, I know it wasn't right for these women to give me money and me to not pay them back. I mean, what's a friend for? What's anybody for? What's a partner for? We have each other's back, right? We should always pay them back. We should always pay each other back when we're lending money. That's 50-50 in the relationship. But I was in a rock and a hard place, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't have the cash. I didn't have what I needed to pay him back, and it all caught up with me. It all caught up with me, and I couldn't pay him back, counselor, because I spent too much of that money.
So now that you have made a confession, you're expecting to leave?
Yes, counselor. I mean, that's exactly what you said, right?
I said all of you. All of you. You're going to have to sit here and wait until we are sure that you actually feel remorseful. I mean, anybody can say, oh boy, I did a wrong thing, and that's the end of it. I don't see any tears or shame.
My dad taught me not to cry at a young age, counselor.
Well,
no, I don't do much crying here.
Maybe it's time to start. Maybe there were some things about your upbringing that led you into feeling that you could take from other people without their permission and without giving back. Maybe. And Penelope,
Maybe.
I really would consider what Lillian said. Can you just try to see this from everyone else's point of view?
Counselor, I don't think you understand. I feel like, for instance, you and I, we're not like the rest of you. We're not like the average American. I mean, he's from a different country. I'm from a different class. We're just different.
Okay, good. That's great. But what about, do you live here now?
Oh, I'm stuck in my house, aren't I, with this cursed ankle bracelet?
And where is your house? Where do you live?
New Orleans.
Then that's the United States, as far as I can recall.
Well, it's not by choice. I'm supposed to be in a European castle.
Penelope, I realize this is a little challenging, but I have to say I think you're putting us on. I think you know full well what you did and why, and you're just sticking to your story.
What can I say? I stick to the truth.
Well, I'm sorry. All right, Lillian, everybody else, what can you at least begin to look at how you might have hurt people by pickpocketing?
I'm not aware that anyone was hurt.
Okay, don't you sound a little bit like Penelope right now?
I didn't say
Oh, my
that's
goodness.
not what you asked me. You asked me, did I think I hurt someone? And I said, I am not aware or don't think anyone was hurt.
Right, but they were, or you wouldn't be here. Doesn't that make sense?
No, not based on the reason that I'm here. As I indicated, a police officer, I gave him his wallet. I was the good person. I gave him his wallet. I can't help that the money was gone when I gave it to him. And he accused me of taking it.
It wasn't just him, Lillian. I don't have it in front of me, but I think like maybe 15 people charged you with stealing at that party. And if you did 15 people at a party, you must have done it somewhere else before. You just were never caught before. Right. Okay. This is going to go on for a while unless you guys can just see it from the point of view of the courts. The point of the courts is to help people realize what is socially acceptable and what's not, what makes you an enemy of society or a friend. Like
I
you,
hardly say what I do is considered as an enemy of the society, counselor. Uh, I the way I see it, my company, the people with lots of power, they're more like the enemy of society with their, you know, disregard and wastefulness.
Yes, and what about the enemies of royalty? What about that? It's a huge problem.
Don't you think cops are out to get people all the time, looking for the arrest just for their natural job, and they get paid to arrest?
I don't think they get paid to arrest. They just get paid. I mean, they don't, at least I don't think people, back in the old days, people got um, some kind of little supplemental income for stuff. But guys, I don't even care about those people. I care about you. I care about your willingness to accept the responsibility for what you did and how it affected other people. That's not a big deal. Did you take the cookie out of the cookie jar? Yes, I did. Or did you chop down the cherry tree? Yes, I did. I mean, just look at it from that point of view.
I have such a problem with people who see just black and white because I don't see it. Not everything here is black and white, counselor. You know, in the corporate world I work in, it is not. I mean, but what is clear to me is the amount of waste. The corruption of the corporate, the way they benefit for themselves and don't care for the lowly workers, the way they don't really care for society and the poor. You know, uh, that's not black and white.
Yeah, but Yui, the problem is that even if they are bad people or whatever, why can't you look at yourself and why you're here? They're not here, but you
I
are.
think that's a travesty, actually, counselor. I,
So turn it around. Our time is up, guys. Look, turn it around, each one of you, before we meet the next time. Try to see it from somebody else's point of view. I mean, John, can you see that what Yui has been doing is not okay?
Of course, counselor.
All right, you can see it about Michael, you can see it about Yui. I want you to see it about yourself as well. Lillian, can you see, you were talking about what Penelope's doing. You can see that what she's doing is a problem, right?
I beg your pardon,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Penelope, but it is. You're gonna have to find a way somehow to like grow up and get this. You're not 13 anymore or whatever.
obviously.
And Yui, what about Sal? Can you see that what he is doing is his attempt to achieve justice, but instead he's making a mockery of justice? Can you see it or not?
Well, I see other things actually, but I think that remains to be seen. I mean, seemed like a very privileged inside having his own company from the family business, but here he is, and I'm not going to compare it to myself from being an immigrant and all that boohoo stuff, but yeah, I mean, it seemed like Sal here is squandering his privilege the way I see it, if
And
nothing more.
Sal, can you see that what Yui has been doing is stealing?
I'm sure.
Well, I think Yui is got this in a way, sort of the same kind of circumstance that I have.
Okay, so you
He's,
think he should be stealing?
I don't think what he's doing is hurting anybody. I don't think what Yui's doing is hurting anybody at all, even if he did it. And I don't think whatever I might have done was hurting anybody.
Sal,
And
is what John and Penelope and Lillian are doing, is that hurting anybody?
they're stealing from others, people who are not in charge of large companies and stuff. And so they're not, they're stealing from, smaller people. At least Lily is and John is. Um,
No, I'm not.
Penelope's,
No, I'm not.
well,
Point is
uh,
this, guys.
I'm only around wealthy people. I'm not stealing from little people. I'm not stealing from anyone at all. Wealthy people give me money.
wealthy people give you money. You know they're wealthy before you get the money?
Yes,
How do you do that? You Nostradamus, you figured this out?
it's a network of people that I know.
The network of people you know, and yet you meet them on the street and you know whether they're wealthy or not. That's amazing.
Who says I met them on the street?
Okay,
Uh,
guys. Hey, wait. Unfortunately, I've got to end our session, but one thing to take away. I want you guys to notice how it's pretty easy for you to look at one of your fellow um, people in this group and see what they did wrong. Before we meet again next time, please try to see what you did wrong. And that's it for now.